My name is Vincent McIntyre. I'm 67 years old. I was born in the west of Ireland. I'm a farmer and a jack of all trades, you might as well call me. Yeah. I've lived here since 1979. I found this place by accident and decided to camp here. It was unauthorized occupation of Crown land, and with the implications of that I didn't understand or know about at the time, so I never seen it. Even today I don't see it as permanent. I come here one time to help somebody get firewood. There was an old clear cut and all the trees were down, but it was so beautiful, that panorama of the mountains and the lake and all that, that I said, oh, that'd be a nice place to live. Yeah. And I never thought I'd ever settle down, that I'd always be a traveler. This is the most at home I feel any place since I left the little thatch house I was born in the west of Ireland. My daughter was born here, and so that's probably the reason that it made it home for me. Oh. 30 years later, we're still here. We've lost that concept of manhood and growing up and all that somehow. You don't have that extreme whatever it is to push you out in the world. At one time it was a young fella go to sea because he couldn't get along with his father, for instance. And that's natural. That's natural to be forced out of the nest, just like the grizzly bear beats up her cubs to send them away, you know, give them a good beating, and then he won't follow her around anymore, you know. I left home because I didn't get along with my dad, and I got as far away as possible from family because of all the tragedies associated with my childhood. When I immigrated to southern Ontario, me and my sister and brother, we went to work for this Dutch family, and they had a mixed garden. They grew hay and grain, and they had chickens and cows, and we worked on all these different things, picking peas or strawberries or tomatoes, and making hay and all this stuff. There was no Canadian kids working there. They were all refugees, Hungarians, and we were the only Irish kids there. We went to work on a market garden closer to Toronto, and that was already being industrialized. It was like long rows of like one thing, like green onions, like a 3-ton truckload of Dutch sets would come in. We had to plant all of them, you know. So it was totally monotonous. We were just robots. That's when I began to hate it. I remember thinking, when I grow up, I'm never going to do this. And a lot of people felt like that. Somehow I've never been really big in doing stuff for myself. It has to be bigger than myself. So what motivates me is working with other people, but it has to be not just, it has to have some meaning to it. And that's the way I find the good in humans, the people I work with. Find out who they are and what they're made of. Because you are what you do. When I started growing food, I come to realize that this is really important, to feed my family and my friends and people around me. We've been industrialized on all levels, and when you have that realization, you know, we feel helpless. Farming for me, I can go and work in a field, and it actually makes me feel stronger. My favorite poem about getting old and going down hard is Dylan Thomas. His rage against the dying of the light. That you don't want to get old. You don't want to die. I think as I got older, I got, you know, when things become clear to you, what motivates you more, and you get more honest with who you are and your limits and all that. Few events in my life happened to make me realize, hey, that was a good life. And now that I appreciate that I had them experiences, because they give me endurance for what I do.